Hello YouTube, it's Trust, and welcome to the 7th episode of the Bear Hug Radio. The goal of this podcast is to get to know OK Bears that add value to the community. Today we are joined by the one, the only, Crypto Anky. Mr. Anky wears many hats. He is a community builder at the OK Bears. He is the CEO and founder of FunGuyz and Fun Labs. He's a teacher. He is also a creative director at Simple Labs. He has an interesting story to which Parker deep dives on his Twitter space. Links in the description if you want to know more about his backstory. Before we get to the interview, help my channel grow by hitting the like and subscribe button. It really helps. Did I get all that right?
Got it all. Throw in a wife and 3 kids in the mix, and those are the final hats.
Oh my god.
That's all of them.
I mean, we could start with this. How do you balance all of this?
Honestly, man, it's a great question. So I'll kind of dive in a little bit deeper later, but I'm luckily on medical leave right now from teaching. I've been teaching for the last 10 years. I'll share a little bit more again, but I got in a crazy accident years back. I had to jump out of a flaming Jeep at 60 miles an hour, so it wrecked my body. Again, I'll dive deeper there. But finally, after a bit, my wife last March, right when we were getting ready for our FunGuyz event, she had to have 3 surgeries. And I'm very stubborn myself, but once I found out I can actually take off of work to be with her and care for her, it was a no-brainer. During that time, she reminded me that I was being stubborn and said, you need to go get your body looked at and see about getting things better, because I live in 24/7 constant chronic pain, have for 15 years. So I started doing that, and I got put on this regimen. So right now I'm actually out of the classroom for a little bit longer. It's allowed me to have my days completely free. If I was still teaching right now, this would be impossible. But it's allowed me to focus on my health and getting myself better, but then also to really pour myself into this. As far as balance, I've been given a huge span of time during the day. But really, I think it's discipline is first and foremost what keeps me aligned and making sure I'm on task, but then also being able to be around so many great founders, project leaders, and being associated with all these things, in addition to amazing communities, that continues to light my fire daily. So I've got the passion burning, and then balancing out is early through discipline.
All right. So where does the Crypto Anky come from?
Question, man. Yeah, a little background with that. Being a teacher again, I'm totally cool being on this video right now, but I never had a Twitter before up until a few months back. Same thing with Discord, all that was new to me. So I was trying to think of an identity, and Anky was a nickname I had since childhood. And one of my great friends in this space, he's like, you just should be Crypto Anky. And I was like, okay, that works, because I was trying to figure out different names and incorporated my old childhood nickname, and it's been perfect to kind of have that identity in this space. Really be able to lean in deeper into that.
What do you teach, or what did you used to teach?
Yeah, so I got started teaching 3rd and 5th grade special education. I actually had a degree in business, did not think I was getting into teaching whatsoever. Job opened up, it was there. My mom had nudged me. She's like, look, I know you can't find jobs in the market right now with business. You consider going into the classroom. And at first I was kind of against it. I really was unsure, but I said, let me just go see. I instantly connected with those kids. Actually, one of them, he's now in his 20s, and I just saw him the other day. They changed the course of my life. The first year, I was totally saw this is what I'm passionate about, not just the special education side, but being able to teach and influence people. Got my teaching certification. A few years later, the school that I went to, my old art teacher, who I just loved and adored, she was such an impactful person in my life. She was retiring. And she said, would you consider coming over here? So I switched from being in elementary to high school. I'm now working with 9th through 12th grade teaching art, but then also being able to utilize my background with special education and working with special needs students to incorporate that as well. So typically any given year, I'll have anywhere from 8 to 12 special needs kids that are able to be in my classes as well. And it's such a beautiful thing to be able to work with all these different creative minds and help them have a space where they can grow, be themselves, get to know one another. But it's been a great opportunity to do this for the last 10 years.
Yeah, it's really cool. For those of you who don't know, I'm also a teacher. So my IRL
awesome.
job So
It's cool. What do you teach?
I actually teach ESL. So
Okay.
in Montreal, we have French as a first language, I guess. So I'm really lucky to teach English as a second language here. So it's really cool. So I actually teach in high school.
I had no idea.
Yeah, exactly. There's a few teachers actually in the Bears, so from all over, and it's pretty cool. I actually teach high school also. I've been teaching 11th grade for the past like 4 or 5 years, so it's really cool.
That is awesome. I'm glad to make that connection. How do you like teaching high school?
I mean, it has its up and down, you know. So I actually my first job as a teacher, I taught in Korea. So I
Really?
after finishing my bachelor's, I went to Korea, and I went on a 1-year contract and loved it so much that I stayed a full 4 years. And
Wow.
that's where I met my wife, and that's where we came back, and we came back to Montreal, and it was really special. I mean, it's a lot different though, teaching in Korea and teaching here in Canada is completely different. You know, like the school system itself and the students are very, very different. So yeah, so why don't you talk to me about the FunGuyz? I mean, talk to me about like the perspective of the founder, CEO. Tell me like what are the ups and downs, maybe what you like the most and stuff like that.
Absolutely. So with FunGuyz actually started over a year ago, or right at a year. Back in September of last year, I came up with this concept, and bringing back my students. That was a huge factor in this kind of becoming what it was. Initially, we had an idea of testing out releasing an NFT collection, and we had this one concept for FunGuyz. My buddy Jarrett and I, who was my old college roommate, helped me found this project, and we would kind of bounce around with ideas and stuff. And at the same time, when I was teaching high school, this was the first year where NFTs are really a part of any conversation. I've always taught very talented students in art, but I remember having a couple of them that came in. We were discussing NFTs. I was really interested in and intrigued by it as well, so it opened up a great conversation. Over a couple weeks as we kicked off last school year, right before I started drawing all of this, a couple of them, they were saying, okay, this person that's a teenager just released this collection and they did incredible. And as a teacher and as a believer in all of their capabilities, I had to build them up and tell them, truly can do this. You can do anything. I believe in you. I believe in you. Then we kept talking more and more. They started seeing me kind of tinkering around with these ideas and designs, and finally they threw it back at me. Said, you keep talking that it's possible to go after this, to start a project, to chase your dreams, to build a collection, for it to sell out. Why don't you prove it? I remember just being frozen in the moment. I went home that day and remember talking to Jared, and I really felt this challenge to dive deeper and grow this much bigger than we had initially anticipated. I really wanted to show them what was possible. So from September all the way to March, my free time, I was drawing, plotting all these different ideas, mapping out things, and really trying to be forward thinking as a founder. I didn't want it to just stop at that 2D collection. So I instantly started thinking about long term. I was a strong believer in the metaverse and still am, but I saw that this was much further out. But I also wanted to be prepared for that. We started doing all these different things where we had our FunGuyz, we had our 3D FunGuyz, we had these shroom sets we had concepts for, all these different things. And my biggest goal was to have all this proof of concept before Mint. So I poured all my spare time, all my energy, all my resources into making that a reality. Over the course of doing all that, I got to find so many great connections in this space, a lot of people that mentored me and guided me. I had nothing to offer. I just simply reached out, hey, I'm a high school teacher. I'm trying to start a collection. I would love to get some advice or feedback here, or I need some guidance with this particular area. And at the same time, Twitter, Discord, all that was new to me. So I was out of my element. All I could bring to the table was passion, energy, and laser-focused dedication. So as a founder, getting all this started, I guess being a teacher and having to plan, I was really able to kind of figure all that stuff out and map things out. And honestly, just by being able to bring in a rock solid team to help bring this to fruition, we were able to bring all these different people from all over the globe that had a lot of different strengths that I don't personally have. In doing so, we were all able to work together in unison to see this to our initial mint. It sold out instantly. It opened up so many opportunities. But as a founder, I've also learned I'm normally a very private and introverted person, so I'm happy to be on this call tonight. But usually I've always liked to keep to myself. So my biggest struggle here has been growing in the space of just being Anky in this space, to be completely honest. So it's still something I'm growing with, but I do see the benefits of constantly connecting with so many people, and just like being able to speak with you before we started recording. Everyone's so genuine. So when I'm able to make those connections, all of my fears, my self-doubts, my anxieties just kind of wash away.
Yeah, so what was the biggest challenge maybe of this project?
Biggest challenge so far has honestly been making sure that everything not only stays aligned with our initial vision, being able to navigate this as the markets change, as times change, as the meta has shifted. Being in this space for a year now, I've seen so many different things change constantly. Being able to again stay unified with your initial vision, but being comfortable enough to have to pivot when necessary. That hasn't been the struggle. The struggle has been in the moments that have come up. We've been in a bear market for quite a while now, and one of the big things we had to factor in early on was, how do we make sure that we sustain ourselves as a business, that we don't just have to rely on royalties? So luckily with FunLabs, we got started with our FunLabs division back in December, and we started off with 4 3D artists, which we now have 11 3D artists on our team. It was the wisest move we could have ever made, to be honest, because not only has it allowed for a sustainable revenue model, but it with the uncertainties of the market and different things, whereas some projects might have had to stress out or worry, it allowed us to something that can continue paying the entire staff, continue being able to build up a nest egg, and then eventually we're able to start thinking about unique and fun ways that we can go reinvest this back into our holders, which I'll talk more on later. But again, challenges here are just the market itself and the ever-shifting meta. How I overcome that personally, though, is just always trying to be humble, transparent, open, and honest. So I think even before we hopped on this, we talked about if there's any questions, and like I shared with you, just wanted to be raw and just kind of go with the flow. But I think my biggest strength here is always, especially as a founder, anytime things have been in any kind of way that wasn't initially planned, comfortable enough to either go on video or go on the voice chats and stuff and be completely open. So being always humble and very transparent with your community, even when things happen that you don't anticipate or you hit road bumps, they're much more understanding again when they feel that they can truly trust you, believe in you, they see your heart and vision, and they know things aren't always going to go perfect, but that they can trust that you always are going to want to get things back on track and do this for the greater good of the community and the holders. That's been my saving grace here.
Cool. I mean, I heard for the FunGuyz, to be honest, I don't hold FunGuyz yet, I say. I looked at it yesterday. I looked at the floor price. It was at 1, and I saw a few good ones. I mean, I was like, but I hear it's the greatest community ever. Okay, I know the Bears.
It's amazing.
The Bears are probably number 1, and maybe 1A, 1B or something. But I hear like every time you hear about your project, we always hear it's a great community. The FunGuyz, hop in the Discord, it's all fun, but what would be your strongest selling point? Like, why would people want to join the FunGuyz?
Now could not be a better time. So one of our main members on our core team, Prajwal, he's actually the CEO of Simple Labs, but I don't want to give too much away other than months back, he's the smartest person I've ever met. He's the most driven and dedicated. Had a lot of great ideas of things that we could implement with FunGuyz. One being a tax tool. So we're actually, I think any day now, we're going to be dropping a promo video. It's ready, but we have our beta rolling out. We developed an incredible tax tool, and we have a couple other different products and applications that the community will be able to use as holders. And it's going to completely change the trajectory of what we're offering. Everything we initially planned out is still on track. And going back months ago when he started having these conversations and ideas, and I said, Prajwal, you are the smartest person I've ever met. I want to see you run with this, and anything you want to do, let's do it. At first, the community was a little shocked because we mentioned a tax tool, and we've always thus far been known as with our 3D, our avatars, our metaverse experiences, partnering with portals and different projects. we were a little kind of taken aback at first, but once they all realized how capable, not only with Projball, but also the people that we brought in to help develop this, was huge. So if someone's interested, this is truly the best time. October is about to kick off, and we have so many amazing things rolling out. Outside of all those things, though, again, you mentioned community. Everywhere I've been, I'm a holder in a lot of projects, and I love every Discord is very unique. Ours truly, and I say this without bias, it really feels like home, not just because it's our project, but going there, everyone is loving, accepting, caring, and they help one another. It's funny because you'll see all these different conversations, but it's also people all over the globe, which all these NFT projects have united. So if you're looking for a nice, fun, relaxed community, we have that. If you're looking for some incredible tools that really are some of them are brand new to this space, those are on the way. So between both of those, you will find something you absolutely love. And again, like you said, the price is perfect right now if you're interested.
Okay, so why don't you take me through the everyday of a CEO or founder? What do you do every day to make sure that the project is on track or that it's staying, the ship is staying afloat, right?
Absolutely, thank you. So first and foremost, it's goal setting. So a lot of things, we have goals for 3 months out, 6 months out, 1 year, and so on. Everything in between that are stepping stones to make sure that we're reaching those goals. So our core team, we always have stuff mapped out for what we need to achieve that day. We get in touch with one another, but my typical day, especially right now with school, is wake up at 5:45, get my son up, get him ready for middle school. My daughters, they wake up a little bit later, we get them off. But from 5:45 to about 8:30 is all dedicated to them. Once I get back home and kind of get situated, diving in. So it's mapping out. We have a core team call every morning. We'll kind of map out our goals for the day. But because, like you said earlier, wearing so many hats, it's not just FunGuyz. We have our FunGuyz division, our Fun Labs. Now the amazing opportunity to work with OK Bears as a community builder is thrown in there. Our connections with portals, our connections with the Builders DAO, and then all the other projects we're currently partnered with. So for instance, we're just finishing up working with Famous Fox Federation for some really cool stuff. We've been finishing some other projects as well. So have all of that, it could really seem overwhelming and chaotic. So I try to kind of break it down into little segments. The way my brain operates is I can give something 90 minutes of laser focused attention before I either need to get up, take a pause, walk my dogs, etc. Try to block off 90-minute segments for each of those in the morning, working on all this stuff. And then I forgot Simple Labs in that mix as well as creative director. That's been another time commitment. So
yeah, that was
again,
my next question. Sorry.
Yeah,
Simple Labs.
I'm spaced on that one, but that's been a mind-blowing experience behind the scenes. But each one, again, little blocks of time, and then after that first little wave of making sure each one is kind of checked in, I'll go through Discord, check message and stuff, and get into the community. It's really hard to do all of that and then also make sure I'm on Twitter Spaces. So sometimes, even if it's just as a listener, that's running either on my phone or on the laptop in the background. I'm occasionally trying to listen in, but juggling all these hats could really seem chaotic and overwhelming. But at the end of the day, it's feeling so blessed to have this opportunity and to be able to bring my kids to school, pick them up in the afternoons, be there for every moment of their lives. It's unreal. We never miss family dinner. All of those things are really more important than anything else I do in this space. I think between that and then just recently being able to start going to the gym and get my body better, focusing on those things allow me to do all this other stuff during the day, and then also have a good headspace to be able to pull it all off.
Mm-hmm. So you're full-time in crypto, right?
As of right now, yeah. So while I'm on leave from school, I'm making the most of this. I'm pouring every ounce of time that I have into this.
Do you think that if you ever go back to school, do you think you will be able to balance all this, or probably not?
It'd be tough, to be honest. I'm in a position right now where if I chose to take time away, I can safely do that, which is a great experience and a great feeling. If I have to walk away from the classroom, though, where I see myself would go would be the substitute route, and be able to still go into the classroom and be with the students that I've worked with for years and love to see. just a couple of days a week, but not have the pressure of doing everything else. So I'm still kind of weighing all the options, to be honest. I'm happy to have options though. That's a beautiful thing.
So have you talked to Burns? Like, you know who Burns is, right? And he's very
just a little bit.
So he's very similar to us, where he is a teacher. He also founded a project, and now he's a moderator in the Bears. So it's pretty cool. So, and also like I kind of like mentioned that he was wearing many hats, and he reminds me of you in some way.
It's incredible. I'm gonna have to dive deeper on that with him. I had no idea.
You have to watch the episode.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So talk to me about your NFTs. So you told me you have a bit of everything in the space. Are you mainly in Solana or ETH, or just do you have any other?
Yeah. So I got started with ETH. I mentioned Jared earlier. This is one of my best friends. Got started. I have a background before doing anything in Web3. For the last 8 years, also outside of teaching, I've worked with bands and done artwork, a lot of promotion stuff, different marketing materials, etc., and did a lot of stuff, a lot of Grateful Dead designs, and wanted to take some of those concepts. So he hit me up a while back, probably a year and a half, 2 years ago. He wanted to put some stuff on ETH. Asked me to do some quick artwork. I did it, thought nothing of it. Don't hold anything in ETH at the moment, I don't believe. I'd have to go check the MetaMask, but it's been so long. As far as Solana though, there's a lot of projects. So obviously OK Bears at one point held a DeGod disclosure. I had no idea what the bear market held, and I wanted to make sure that our team and everything we were building would always be provided for. So just to have this safety net to go with the DeGod. So that's a sad moment, but it did make sure that we always had a cushion locked in case of emergency. So I had to think about the greater good, not just for myself. So those are two of my top ones. Everything else, actually, let me just go click on this Phantom and see. Log in. Not gonna go list everything one by one, but.
So do you have famous Fox because you guys work together?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, got the famous Fox, most definitely. See, Mindfolk, some Suteki, some Different Apes, some Community 3, Anybody's, which I forgot that I even had until I saw that it was blowing up. Estate, Vandal, some one-of-ones from some different artists. Just he's going on quite a bit of stuff, more so than I realized. But yeah, my strategy, I don't really ever buy to flip. I don't think I've even sold anything yet, to be honest. It's just really, if we've had projects that we've worked with, if there's projects that I believe in, or projects that I want to be a part of, that's always been my buying strategy or my acquisition strategy. But there's never really been many DGen plays or anything with the goal of trying to get something to flip it.
Okay, cool. How long have you been in the Bears? Have you been since Mint or like the first day?
No, not since Mint. Funny story about that. Again, our team, we had a lot of whitelists allocated for our team, and it was so sad at the time, but everyone on our core team except for me minted an OK Bear. They for Mint. Everyone's so excited, they're dropping their bears in the chat, and I'm just like crying in a corner. Not really, but even when we have whitelist opportunities, I would love to see the community and the team always be the ones to benefit. So it never felt right to get it. So I didn't mint. I think sometime over the summer, I think I finally was able to get my first bear. So I can't remember the specific date. I know that I've been looking for quite a while. I had some different ideas of what I wanted, and when I finally saw that one, I instantly connected with it, and I was like, this is the bear. So that was the one.
Yeah, so we both got nominated as community builders at the same time. So what do you think made your application stand out?
To be honest, I'll say this as humbly as possible. Just, I think a while back, so we did instantly, once the team had minted out their bears, Fun Labs division, like, okay, we're bringing these bears to life. So for months and months, we've had all these different variations that we were doing, trying to get the 3D bears perfect. We have some that have the fur texture, some that have the clay style. Then we started looking at AR application. I think I jokingly filmed a scene one night on this couch I'm sitting on. I think it was like Kai and Subi just chilling here from the bears that we created in the AR thing. Additions to that, we've been building a lot of other stuff with other projects. We just finished with Trippin' Apes not that long ago. Their big experience for the Portals metaverse. All these things are kind of going on. That plus the drive and dedication and the passion that I see with the OK Bears team, I think there was a lot of synergy there. Don't necessarily know, just because we're coming to the table and being brought on with all of this powerhouse 3D team, I don't necessarily think that's an endorsement that we're going to start seeing 3D OK Bears right away. What I do think it means, though, is that because we have so many different capabilities that we can bring that are fresh and available for the holders and the team at large, I think that was the most attractive point for my application side. It's just what we could potentially bring to the table. Coming on board again isn't an endorsement that we're diving into these things yet, but is the opportunity to explore those things and plant those seeds now.
Did you connect anyone in the Bears? Did you connect with anyone? Do you talk to anyone more often than anyone?
Kai and Subi, we had a private collaboration channel in there for the last few months. I think it was listed, I forgot the number that it was listed at, but we've been in communication there for a while. So finally being able to go from just having those talks with them to being in the Builders channel has been awesome. As far as talking to people, RJ is someone that long before OK Bears was someone that I was reaching out and connecting with, and just an amazing human. He's just a great soul in this space, and it was so beautiful to see him integrated now here. But that's definitely the person that over my Web3 journey thus far I've had the most connection with. I will say though that just especially being in the Builders channel now, it's infectious how excited everyone is to share their talents, their skills, their ideas, but then also constructive criticism element that's there, that everyone has is able to provide feedback in a way that's very beneficial to grow any of these ideas to the best they can be. But I'm excited just to get to know more of you guys, and I'm just thrilled to be a part of all this, to be honest.
Cool. I'd like to end with who do you want to see or who do you want to hear on this podcast? Is there one that you would like take out your popcorn and listen to the whole thing?
I don't know if you chatted with RJ yet, but he would definitely, I mean, that would be my go-to right off the bat. So I don't know if you talked with him yet, but getting him on here ASAP, because he's got a lot of stories and experience, and I would love to hear more about what it's been like from his perspective.
Okay, so you're the second one to ask for RJ. I will have to DM him. I'm clipping this right now and sending it to him.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, so thank you very much for your time. Where can people find you?
Yeah, so it's just for Twitter at Crypto Anky, crypto and then ANKY. Obviously, again, we talked about earlier with FunGuyz, so we have our Discord there and our Twitter. Simple Labs as well, please check them out. I can't say too much yet, but I can say it's one to watch out for. But Crypto Anky first on Twitter.
Thanks a lot for watching the 7th episode of the Bear Hug Radio. Don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button, and tell me in the comments who you think should be the next one interviewed in my podcast. Thank you very much.